Let me let you hear something. This is one true Ruqyah session of a possession. Oh.
But warning,
That's the person that
being possessed.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Help Desk. I'm your host Drew. As always, I am joined by Alfie and I'm joined by Pris. As you can see, for our Halloween episode, we are dressed up in these wonderful costumes bought for us by our producer Ikmal. What are we meant to be? I don't know what this is. I'm wearing like a Dracula cape with like horns, but Dracula doesn't have horns. Pris, I don't know what you are.
I think I'm forgotten easily, so I'm wearing a high vis today. So
very visible.
Yeah, I hope I'm remembered soon.
And you've got like safety glasses.
Yes, because I have myopia.
So some sort of person who works outdoors.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm just
the kind, you know, when people report like, oh, I found a snake in my house.
Oh, you work for
so I will like
so
attend.
you have to go and find the snake in the forest. Yeah, after
Yes.
that.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I also inspect MRT stations.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
very useful.
Very useful nowadays.
Very
useful
scary.
nowadays.
Very scary if you work in LTA.
Yeah. Quite scary.
And you are a
I'm
fairy.
a fairy.
Fairy. She was a fairy.
Nice one you have there. Does that turn on?
She
No.
broke it. She broke it
She
before
broke
the
it
camera.
just before we
Just before we started.
It's just a prop, so there's no batteries in it.
I see.
It was
Yeah,
not. It was
sure.
not on the priority list of things to do. Yeah.
Anyways, for this Halloween episode, before we get to our guests, I thought wouldn't it be fun to tell like our favorite ghost stories, our favorite true Singapore ghost stories.
True Singapore
True
ghost stories.
things that actually happened to us.
Okay.
Do you guys have any? Have you guys had any spooky encounters in your life?
Okay, I think I got mentioned this in a previous episode before, but I don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I did maybe I just
You did
spooked
believe in
myself.
ghosts.
I did believe in ghosts because
Yeah,
I mean I didn't so like okay, I think I was watching Paranormal Activity. Was it Paranormal? I think Paranormal Activity, the one with the camera in
hate
the
that.
house.
I
So
hate
like
that.
at first I thought that was real. Like they
You thought
just
it was a
took
documentary.
Yeah, I thought it was a documentary. So it was like because they don't edit it at all. So
Yes,
like
they do.
like it was like it's very long. Like you know, like
Oh,
they
yeah,
do like
yeah.
a lot
The
of like
shots are
scenes and
like-
like
yeah.
like continuous shots.
If someone leaves a room, it's not like they're cutting to the scene.
No, yeah, it's just like that. So I thought that was real, and then I think there was a scene where like things just started to drop,
Okay.
and then I believed in it so much. Like I invested myself so much in it. I think when the movie ended, and then I was so scared to go to sleep because like I was thinking, okay, because I had cameras in my house also, so I was like. Okay, I don't want to rewatch like any footage. So then suddenly, like as I was about to go and sleep, the soap dispenser just dropped in the toilet, and it was very loud because like my bathroom door was open, so it just dropped, and then I was like, no. The moment it dropped, I ran out, and then I ran into my parents' room. I was like, no, I'm not sleeping in my room tonight.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
I thought because like the same thing happened in the movie.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, and like it's just too coincidental. I was like, no, there's a ghost in the house.
So
The ghost was watching.
The ghost was watching.
Paranormal Activity with you.
Yes, and then like that was a bonus clip. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
It was like the post-credit scene, and I'm like, yeah, no.
So did anything happen after that?
I didn't sleep that night.
Was that the one and only incident?
Yes, that like really spooked me because it was just too coincidental.
Yeah. Fair enough.
What about you guys?
Do you have
Me? I do have a ghost story. I think you've heard. I've written about my ghost story for Mothership. You can go and read on it. You can search my name, Andrew Quay, and then you can search ghost hunting or something. It'll probably come up. But basically, for work, I was forced to go ghost hunting with this group, Para X.
I don't think it was forced.
I was truly forced. They asked me to do it, and I felt like if I turned it down, they would fire me. So I felt like I had to go. So they brought us to like some abandoned spot where, true story, some dude had tried to burn a dead body. Like they murdered someone and tried to burn a body there, and then we went like walking around in the in this like really dark place in like 2 a.m. or whatever. At one point, we saw like a pair of eyes in the tree. But I'm pretty sure it was an animal. Okay, whatever. So we did the whole thing, walked around in the dark for about an hour and a bit, and watched one of them do like a ritual where they get possessed or something like that. Okay, cool. So, and then I go home after that. And sleep. The next day, I was wearing overalls in the clip. You can find the clip on YouTube. I was wearing overalls in the clip, and then I passed the overalls to our helper to tell her like, hey, for it to get washed, and I had to, like, I wanted to explain to her like, oh, why I have such muddy overalls, and then I was telling her like, oh yeah, like last night, I went ghost hunting with this group or whatever, and then she started to freak out, and I was like, oh, what's wrong, Lania? Is everything okay? And she was like, oh my gosh, last night I had a dream, right, that you were coming back home late, and that there was like a ghost following you. And so I was about to enter the house, and then there was a ghost following me behind, and she was like, Andrew, why are you bringing that thing home? And I was like, and in the dream I was like, I didn't really know what she was talking about. And then as soon as that happened, as soon as I stepped to the house, she woke up, and then she quickly went and checked that all the windows and that the front door was locked, and she noticed the time. It was around 3 a.m. And that night I got back just before 3 a.m. So she was having that dream kind of around the time that I would have gotten back. So pretty creepy. But nothing happened after that, and I still sleep soundly at night, very soundly.
Was it the overalls? Maybe you brought us something. Maybe that was like the mud.
The mud. So after we washed the mud out, then it got
Maybe.
cleansed. Yeah, but friends have stepped in my room and like then said like, or like your room is haunted and stuff like that. Because like my room door will randomly just open sometimes in the middle of the night.
Huh?
So that's a.
Do you get sleep paralysis?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
Are you just okay with your door getting like?
Oh, nowadays
opening?
like I lock it so that it doesn't. But before that, like I when I was before I had got into the habit of locking my door, it would often just open randomly in the middle of the night. Yeah. So that does happen, but nothing to fear.
Okay.
No. You know what? A tip: if you have trouble sleeping at night, and maybe you can do this the next time you watch Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, maybe.
Just listen to like Help Desk. listen to us talking, and then it'll put you at ease while you go to bed.
Yes.
That's what I do sometimes. Not Help Desk, maybe, but other podcasts. Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be crazy if you're listening to
my own voice, and that it puts me to
Yeah.
sleep. No, it doesn't. No. Shout out to our friends at TDK, maybe. Yeah. Go on, Alfie. Do you have a ghost story?
No, but I'm always a bit like jumpy with
Jumpy.
stuff. So I remember this, and I thought it was a ghost. So I think I was heading home late. Like, I took the bus, and from my house to the bus stop, it's like this row of like hedges.
Yeah.
So I have to walk past the road. Like, it's quite a far walk, like 2-minute walk of hedges for a full like straight road. So I can't break from it, right?
Yeah.
So I have to keep going, and then I make a turn, and I'll see like more residences. So every night, I think it was 12, I took the last bus back, and I was walking through this hedges part, and I swear I kept hearing like this rustling sound
In the hedges.
in the hedges, and I was like, holy shit, like
It's not the wind.
it's not the wind. It was,
It was
like,
a pervert.
yeah, it was like
It was
so
so
it was so loud, and like I can't like move anywhere because that's my only way back home.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I need to like continue, right?
Yeah.
So I thought it was a ghost. I should have said that, but like I have feeling like something.
You were really scared.
I was
because you thought
really
this was some
scared. Like this,
paranormal
yeah, but I
activity.
need to go home, right? Like where else can I
Yeah.
go? So I have to keep going.
Did you run?
No, I didn't run. I walked slowly. I just didn't turn. But
Okay.
obviously, when it was louder, like right, I knew it was like parallel to me. I
Yeah.
turned,
Ah.
and it was a worker peeing in the bushes.
Oh. That's kind of scary as well.
Wait, but why was he rustling so much?
I think he just trying to like, I don't know, maybe he just needed to pee really bad. I
He
felt
was-
so
he
so
was
bad.
like,
Spreading the pee around in the.
I don't
Okay,
know. Like,
okay.
he was trying to squeeze because it's hedges, like very high hedges, like 2-3 meters high, that kind.
okay, okay.
So I saw him. We both panicked.
He
He panicked.
too. So I ran. I fell. I scraped my whole knee.
Oh gosh.
He ran the other way. So I went home.
While
Why
peeing?
did he panic?
Because like he was probably like pee. I couldn't see anything.
Oh, okay.
But like
okay.
he was obviously like half naked or something, right? And like he didn't mean any
shit.
harm. I felt so bad.
Okay, yeah. No, I think you guys just spooked each other out.
Yeah, but I wasn't like, I don't know why I came so late on a school night, but I was wearing my white shoes from school, so it was like bloodied with my knee.
Oh man.
Oh my
wow.
God.
That
Yeah,
is
it was
a
pretty
horror.
bad,
That,
yeah.
that looks like a horror.
Yeah,
Horror
just-
image for
but,
sure.
yeah.
but yeah, it's not a ghost. I felt really bad.
That's the thing. Like, you would hate to bump into a ghost while you're doing something like peeing or like pooping. Imagine that. But like, what would happen? Like,
Like, at least let me finish
Yeah,
first.
and school toilets are always haunted, right? So what if you're
Yeah.
like pooping and then the ghost appears in front of you? What will you do? Will you finish the poop? Or you get out?
Actually, I don't know.
But she hovers, so she's halfway.
Oh yeah.
So you're always,
I'm always on the way. Like
you're
I'm ready to go.
You're always ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Huh.
You know, after you watch a horror movie, then you shower, then like you can't
Oh,
open your
yeah.
eyes, right?
Now you gotta
My
open
biggest
your
fear
eyes
is
open.
to open my eyes after.
And then see something.
Yeah, I'm so scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, that it would be quite a pervert ghost to wait till you get into the shower to haunt you.
I'm just scared of like it coming from above or below.
What do you
So
mean?
running towards like just running.
If
towards.
if I'm in the toilet, like like public
Oh.
toilet, and then like
Yeah, or like the cubicle.
yeah. Wait. Oh my god. Okay. Wait. I have a friend who had a story about a sleep paralysis, but it's creepy. But she had sleep paralysis, so it's not like a true like horror story. But
Okay.
so she was really tired this one day, and then she was an intern at that time, and then she went to the toilet to just rest. But then while she was doing her business, she fell asleep halfway on the toilet because she was so tired. So
Halfway?
yeah, halfway mid poop. So like yeah, she was just like
Well, I hope it
on the
wasn't-
toilet.
I hope it wasn't hanging out halfway during that.
I don't know. But then so she woke up, but sleep paralysis, so she couldn't move or anything
toilet.
on the toilet, and she gets hallucinations. So when she was like locked in, she could open her eyes, and then she saw a woman, like she heard like high heels coming in,
Okay.
and then the high heels just stopped right in front of her cubicle,
Yeah.
and then it like you can see the shadow, and then it like turned to her.
Oh my god.
And then like it like I think she was wearing like a red dress, so she was like stooping, like going down, and then like at the very last minute her face just like appeared at the bottom. Yeah, and like she couldn't do anything because she was like paralyzed and she was
vivid
locked in.
sleep paralysis,
Very vivid, very vivid.
hallucination.
Yeah, and like she has had multiple sleep paralysis, but none as bad as this. And she said it was even worse because her pants were down and like she couldn't do anything. Yeah, but then she tried to like shake it off, and then like she woke up, and when she woke up, nobody was in the toilet. She was alone.
Oh
So
my
that
God.
was very creepy for her.
That is so scary, actually.
Yeah.
honestly. Even if it's sleep paralysis. Right?
Yeah, even if it's sleep paralysis.
Because I
like-
remember when we had like we had Ho Kwon Ping.
Yeah,
that you guys will see in an upcoming episode. He had a sleep paralysis
Yes.
story, but he was saying like, how do you know it's sleep paralysis? And even if it is sleep paralysis, how do you know that you haven't entered
that
like another dimension?
Yes, yeah.
another
You will
thing?
never know, you will never
oh my
know,
gosh, that's
yeah.
so scary. That is creepy. Speaking of creepy stories, if you guys like creepy stories, and I'm guessing you do because you're watching the Halloween episode, stick around because we have Ustaz Ruq and Ustaz Tam from Kisah Ruqyah SG on right after this, and they'll be telling us their creepiest stories, and they'll also be answering your questions on how to stay safe and how to ward off evil spirits.
All right.
Okay, our guests today are the masters of light arts. They are proud purifiers of evil entities, proficient practitioners. They are pros at reading verses to reverse curses. They have a successful Malay-based horror podcast with close to 400 episodes under their belts and a die-hard fan base that tunes into their live shows every Sunday just to listen to their spooky tales. They are Ustaz Ruq and Ustaz Tam from Kisah Ruqyah SG. Thank you so much and welcome to Help Desk.
Thank you so much, Drew and Elfie, right?
Yeah.
It's an honor to be here. Yeah. It's a bit different because we used to record in Malay. So this
Yeah.
is,
Okay.
yeah.
If you want to judge,
My English broken lah, just okay.
We'll,
switch to Malay at any point. Just
no, we'll do our very best.
maybe one can translate for the other. That would be useful for us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
No,
It's
thank
a
you so much
pleasure.
for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us on our spooky special episode. Okay, so first things first. I mean, we're not super familiar with what you guys do. Can you help us define what Ruqyah is and how do you pronounce it correctly? Because I'm sure I'm butchering the word.
The exact pronunciation is Ruqyah.
Ruqyah.
Ruq.
Oh man, I don't know. How
With a Q.
Ruqyah.
try.
Can you try again?
Yeah. Ruqyah.
Ruqyah.
Yeah, very close, very close.
Okay, I think
Wow,
you
the R.
Well done, well done.
Yes, correct.
Chinese cannot pronounce that.
No problem. No problem.
genetically haven't evolved to pronounce it that way. Yeah, can you tell us a bit more about what it is you guys do?
So Ruqyah, if we were to define by language, ruqyah in Arabic word, it means incantation or chants.
Okay.
So what it means in the definitive ruqyah definition for what we do, it is treating a person from afflictions that can be caused by jinn, that can be caused by black magic, or can be caused by the affliction of ayn,
Evil eye.
which we will evil eyes,
Okay.
so to speak, with the incantation, or I would say with the recitation of the Quranic verses.
Yeah.
And somehow it will equate into a result whereby the affliction will be removed.
Okay.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, if you mention ruqyah, we are ruqyah practitioners.
Yeah.
So every day we tend to clients who book us. So we go to their houses. So what we do, we will ask some questions, to see what symptoms do they have, to be, extra sure that what they are going through are spiritual disturbances.
Okay.
And then we will recite some Quranic verses to them, and then from there we will see if there's any effect. Example, if there is a possession,
Yeah.
or if there is any spasmic activities in your body.
Spasmic activities. Okay.
Those can be signs that can equate to the existence of jinn inside that person.
Yeah.
And after that, if we call it successful, the affliction will be removed and the
Yeah.
person will feel normal.
Huh, okay, wait. For
Yeah.
Alfie's sake, when you say jinn,
Yeah.
you mean
I was just about
Yeah.
to ask. I was just-
DJINN.
Yeah,
right?
gin.
Yeah. Because Alfie drinks a lot of gin and tonic, so she was getting a bit worried there.
Oh, yeah.
Jinn is in a simplest form of understanding is what we call demon,
Okay.
or maybe devils.
Yeah.
But we are not demon slayers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
We do not call ourselves demon
yeah, we
slayers,
are not demon slayers. So the misconception, people used to think that if we are demon slayers, we are here out to kill the unseen. It's not like that.
No, it's never like that.
More of trying our very best to give assistance to those who are being possessed or having some difficulties in view of this situation. And we will do our very best to preach goodness in what practices are good in the view of our religion,
Yeah.
as much as possible. That is, however, if let's say if the non-Muslims were to engage us, we will tell them beforehand that what are our practices, so that there'll be no misunderstanding
Okay.
and so on and so forth.
And does your practices work on non-Muslims as well?
It
By
depends.
far, so far so good, and we have good track records, especially with Sasru.
Okay.
Yeah, so he has many non-Muslim clients that engage his services.
Yeah. Just to add what jinn is, in the Islamic understanding, we are beings created by God, right? So we are the creatures, I would say, that is appearing on earth. And there are also creatures that God made which is unseen,
Yeah.
which is we call the jinn. So the jinn, there is two types. There are jinn who are, pious jinns, and there
Good
are
ones.
evil jinns.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so jinns are creatures that are unseen. As explained in the Quran, they are creatures made out of fire. Whereas for us human beings, we believe in the dawn of Prophet Adam, the first human being, we are created from clay.
Yeah.
So jinns are created first before Prophet Adam, the first human being, was created. Okay, and God created them to be unseen. But when it comes to disturbances, jinn that is practicing black magic, we call it sihr, they have the ability to shapeshift or materialize in our current dimension. So when that happens, that will be some of the symptoms to show that if you have disturbances, affliction by jinn. For example, the three main symptoms would be: number one, you will always see the unseen. I give you an example. You know the Pontianak, right?
Yeah.
The Pontianak, the pocong and all that. The common demonic folklore in our culture. So perhaps one day you are just living a normal life and suddenly you start to see this Pontianak here and there.
Okay.
Or sign number two, you start to hear laughter
Voices.
that is not even there, or voices, or growling, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's number three sign will be nightmares. Yes, I forgot to mention that. So
Constant nightmares. Huh?
constant nightmares. In 1 week, you have 2 or 3 times of nightmares that is appearing the same every night. And some dreams, for example, be seeing black dogs, because in our religion it can be a possibility.
Serpents. Huh?
Black dogs or black snakes or serpents, it can be the manifestation of jinn inside our dreams,
Okay.
to be shown by our creator that something is invading you inside. So how about both? Do you have nightmares every now and then?
Honestly, if you say that, right, then tonight I'm going to dream of black dogs. I'm really like that.
But it's a bit different as compared to some dreams that we are having.
Yeah.
I believe that when we watch a certain movie, dramas, or we think about certain something, or we are very committed into doing something, for instance, podcast. Of course, sometimes in our dreams we ought to think about, we ought to
Think about podcasts?
Yeah. But this is a bit different. You'll be having a constant nightmares from time to time.
Okay.
Consistently. In fact, this might happen. Okay, let's see. After everyone is out from the Mothership office, so left, maybe the both of you, then it happens to be that either one of you saw something that others don't see. So when you see them in a physical form, that might be the first stage of disturbances. That is what we call when they physicalize themselves.
Yeah.
But
Physicalize, yeah.
physicalize,
That's
I rarely use systems. We speak in Malay most of the times.
Yeah.
lovely.
But in our belief system, we believe that normal days we don't see things. Like those of the unseen, we do not see them.
Okay.
Normal days. But if the creator were to test us, if we happens to see, those might be one of the signs that we are seeing their not true form. Means
Shape-shifted form.
shape-shifted form.
Okay.
Their true forms in our belief system, we only believe that only the prophets can see at that level. So whatever that we are seeing is all based on our understanding and based on what we are fearing.
Fear most.
For instance, if let's say in Britain, when we have the spiritual healers there, Muslims too, when their clients or their patients describe the unseen, it's totally different from our Singapore
Oh, it's
ghosts.
like white,
Singaporean
white
culture
ghosts,
is different.
like
Yeah.
Caucasian ghosts.
True. They will see mummies. Here we see pocong.
Yeah,
A different. Yeah.
So
So
like localized according to like the culture and context that you're
true.
in.
So some of them will see like werewolves.
Oh,
We see toyol. Toyol is like the small green ones
Yeah.
who will always likes to steal money based on the folklore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it differs from one person to another, and different cultures they have different experiences, versions. True.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, fair
you said just now that only those who are disturbed or possessed will see these things. So in most cases, if you do see, it's in your belief system, it's that they are
It means it choose you to be seen.
Yeah. Means you are disturbed. You are the person that is being tested.
disturbed means like they are following you, or you're like,
Scare you.
or like is possession is different from like following. Like,
Okay,
is that a
so
difference?
I'll explain.
Yeah.
Now, when we treat a person who are afflicted with disturbances, it does not necessarily mean when we recited the Quranic verse there will be possession. No, there are some who have this seeing things, and after they recite the Quran to them, then this sighting stop.
Okay.
Right? Only if we were to rate between the disturbance of level 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, 10, those who are at level 10, when we recite the Quran on them, especially if this is due to the affliction of black magic. If a black magic means someone sent jinn to them to destroy their lives. So when we recite the Quran, this jinn will be fearful, and then they will try to retaliate and try to scare us back. And that's the explanation of why possession happens.
Yeah.
So when a person is possessed, I think, how do we describe a person who's possessed? They will speak in a different language, in a different entity,
Different tone,
different tone,
and their strength are
10 times more than a normal human being.
yeah. If let's say
Oh wow.
let's say the 5 of us males were to handle one female, we can't.
Yeah, their power is overpowering us. Their strength is overpowering us.
And at times you will see some of their tongues will be a bit
Like venom.
turns purple, this and that, and their eyes will be having bloodshot, and it will turn yellow. So this black thing will be going up. Yeah.
Have you guys ever been injured or hurt in the course of your work?
I've had a situation whereby I was almost close to be stabbed by a knife.
So when she was possessed at the point of time, I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened was, I was called to check upon this Indonesian maid. Okay, she somehow have this trance, or somehow we see the way how she reacted to things is quite not like the sane mind, not like the sound mind. So when I came and I tried to recite the Quran on her and to check what are the differences, if this is due to the possession of jinn or the disturbance of jinn or whatnot, she lifted a knife and said, "Kamu mau apa?"
What do you want?
What do you want?
Translation.
Okay, so I said no. I
did
just
like the
come
Quran.
here. I just want to recite verses of the Quran with the intention that I might heal with the will of God. Okay, no problem. So I start to spray around the house. Spray here means water that is blessed with the
Okay.
Quranic verses. While spray going nearing her, she took up a knife and she wanted to stab me.
Oh my
So
God.
I just push her and then she fell. I tell the owners of the Indonesian maid and said, go and call the police now.
Yeah.
It's a
and
different
then-
case. Yeah.
Yeah. So what she
The
did,
employers of the
employers,
you
yeah.
can't call the police.
so what she did was she screamed and the whole block can hear her screams, and then she banged her head on the closet and there's blood on her forehead.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and even if you see here, these are the scars.
So
Oh.
She no, she clawed me.
Wow.
These
That's how
are
props it
battle
is.
scars. Nah.
Battle scar. So the police came. So when the police came and asked here this and that, and eventually some of the police officers knew me from the podcast. So Ustaz,
small world,
you doing Ruqyah, is it? Yeah, I'm doing Ruqyah. So what happened to her? Is she okay? So I said, it's hard for me to say. I can see some traits of mental issues happening here and there.
Yeah.
So what they did was they took her away, and I believe, I don't know, maybe sent to IMH.
Okay.
So they asked me, will you want to press charge on her for the injury that you gone through? So I said no. For what do I want to do that? She's of unsound mind. It's okay. I believe this is just part and parcel of my work lah.
Yeah. When the police came and they saw you, did they get scared? Now I'm dealing with.
I don't know. I
I believe that the authorities, the police, they somewhat they are familiar with the situation.
familiar with this, yeah.
So this spiritual healing part is, they know that if these are the case, they know that we are doing a certain practices.
Okay.
But we need to make mention to them that we are doing this lah.
Yeah. I have one last question before we get to our audience submitted questions. And excuse me if it's like an ignorant one, but what is the difference between what you guys do and like BOMO, for example?
Okay, if I may, BOMO is a term whereby we know back then, early in those days, during kampung time, BOMO is not a negative term for spiritual healers. They use herbals to give aid to the community in the kampung.
Yeah, okay.
But after time or through time, some of the BOMOs did something that is considered as black magic. So the name is not BOMO, actually it's more to Dukun.
Dukun.
Dukun is those who are practicing black magic,
Black magic.
Okay.
offensive black magic, in order to hurt others or to imply any negative dealings to the other party. So people will pay to get their services to inflict pain upon others by using photos, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So if let's say we are talking about the same thing, Dukun, so the differences is it's vast. So the thing that we are trying to do is, if let's say they are inflicting pain upon others, ours is to ask help from God to give cure to our patients and our clients.
Yeah.
With God's grace. So with no disrespect, we are not here to like, we are not here as demon slayers. We are here as peacemakers. Pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give aid to those who are in trouble, or those who are in need. So that's the only difference here.
Okay. And would you regard yourselves more as like exorcists or more like healers?
Healers would be good.
Healers would be good.
Exorcist is a strong term.
I mean,
I always
define what is exorcism. What is exercise?
Yeah, I guess like you're getting rid of like demons or like ghosts or like.
Perhaps we are like that, but that's not our main motive, I believe.
Yeah.
You want to
Yeah,
help the person.
because
right?
if the demon inside were to expelled, so to speak, it is not with the abilities of ours. It's with the will of God.
Yeah.
We are only seeking God's help,
Compassion.
God's assistance through reciting the verses of God Himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Thank you so much for that. So we put out a call out for questions from our audience to see if anyone is dealing with anything supernatural or creepy. So we picked some to pose to you guys to see what advice you can give to them. So the first question we have: actually, before we get to the questions, if you guys have anything, if you are watching this at home right now, if you have anything that's bothering you, or you just have some sort of awkward social situation that you need help with, you can write in to the link that is on your screen right now, or you can find that exact same link in our show description. You can write to us there, and we'll try and find experts to give advice for those exact questions. Okay, so the first question we have, are you guys ready? It's from an audience member named Joe. And Joe writes, I have the tendency to attract bad luck and negative energy a lot, having had experience of unclean things following me and interrupting my dreams, leaving me unrested. This is a fact, not an opinion. I'm sorry for laughing, Joe. What can I do to lessen such occurrences? Does protection charms work? How do I get rid of negative energy once they latch onto me? Joe wants to know how they can get rid of negative energy once they latch onto me. Is this a situation you guys are familiar with?
Yeah, in fact,
Definitely. Yeah.
the way how he explains, I believe he has all, I mean not all, some of the major signs of disturbances.
Okay.
Seeing things, appearing in nightmares. Remember the three things I mentioned?
Yeah, we mentioned
Nightmares.
earlier. Yeah.
You start to see things, you have nightmares, and then start to hear things. Now, again, we are, so-called Ruqyah practitioner, and our majority of our clients are Muslim. So for Joe, I don't know if he's Muslim or not. If he's Muslim, then what I would advise would be reciting the verses of the Quran with the sole intention of, asking God to expel all this. Because he's right now in a situation where there are things, like he mentioned, latch unto himself.
Yeah.
Alright, so read verses of the Quran unto water, like Surah Al-Fatiha, blow it underwater, take a bath with it, have a drink. Or if it gets worse, some people, when they try to do all this and then they start to feel different and like something is going to take control of that person's consciousness.
Yeah.
That is what we call the early version of possession. If you're a Muslim, then I believe you can contact any Ruqyah practitioner if you want.
You guys.
I mean, we are not here to promote ourselves, but if you would like to, then why
It's
not?
an honor. Yeah. It's an honor.
Okay, I mean, you guys spoke a little bit about curses, and like that's one way I suppose people can get these jinns that are attacking them or jinns disturbing them. What are some other things that people might do that would get them into a situation like this?
One of the most popular example is when an individual is learning a certain form of art that involves black magic.
Okay.
For instance, like they were to chant certain verses, which is not from the Quranic verses.
Okay.
They are doing some chantings. I'm talking about Malay Muslim community.
Yeah.
So when they are doing that, there are some possibilities whereby supposedly those things are supposed to help them, giving them strength, confidence, so on and so forth, to perform for some events. That is, however, it's like a double-edged sword. If they were to do that, there's likeliness, probability, possibilities whereby those things will get back at them. And from our understanding, these beings are not supposed to be like a friend. We don't communicate as a friend. These are our friends, like you, through Alfie. Humans, human friends. So we don't make friends with a jinn for no purpose. All right. So if let's say if they were to get themselves putting their feet into the puddle of water in this realm, it's as though they are asking for it. Most of our clients, because they have done that, at the end of the day, they got disturbed. Not just them. Yeah, not just them having the agony, but their family members, their daughters, their sons, their parents, their spouses. So these are the things that we tell our community, please do not indulge yourself, do not engage in all those activities.
Yeah.
Because in the long run, proven by track records, proven by history, once you do this kind of thing, it will get back to you.
I see.
In a way or another. Yeah.
Okay.
If I may add, what Ustaz Tam is mentioning here is defining the disturbance of jinn nasab in Arabic, which means ancestral jinn.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
This is the worst.
There are people from our ancestors, in the days where they live in fear, in the days of war.
Yeah.
The Japanese are here and there, there's a lot of enemies, racial riots and so on.
Back then.
So they might want something to protect them, right? So what they do, they invoke the jinn and have a pact or a deal, a spiritual deal between both of them, that you must be protecting me, in return I will give you what you want. So what will the jinn wants? To stay inside you, because in our understanding, jinn can live hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Their age is longer than a normal human being.
Yeah, the lifespan is definitely longer than us. Yeah.
But then again, just adding a little bit, this is something forbidden as explained in the Quran. Okay, so when they do that, they might have a lot of gains. They might have, financial gains. For example, if you do it for the purpose of inviting people to come to your restaurant and so on, or if you do that for the purpose of protection, like, protecting our family members from harm. Or I give an example, when they are, this is a true story. There's an old lady who's my client. She said, we indulge in invoking these things because why? If we do not do that, the Japanese soldiers will come and rape us. So they have this intention that, to get help from one another.
Yeah.
But what they don't know, in return, they will be living inside you and they will be disturbing you because you are doing something out of the norm. We call it out of the norm of the boundaries of what God has instilled.
Yeah.
Right? So when that happens, when a person died, do you think this jinn will just stop there? What will they do? They will want a next host.
The new vessel.
Yeah, new vessel. So they hold on to their promise. But there are some cases whereby this person who had this ancestral jinn, in Malay we call it saka. Right? So on their deathbed, they are struggling. They can't die until they find a next host who can accept the jinn that they are carrying.
Whoa, okay.
So what are the types of ancestral jinn here to mention here? Example, we have a lot of clients who have macan putih, white tiger. But it's not the actual tiger lah, a jinn in the form of white tiger.
Yeah.
There's people who invoke the spirit of
Boy.
White crocodile ke alligator?
Crocodile or alligator.
Okay.
White crocodile. We call
Buaya
it
putih.
buaya putih.
Boy,
Oh,
putih.
okay.
Yeah.
I've heard of that one, I think.
Yes, and we have clients who mentioned to us that their grandmother, when they gave birth to a crocodile and a human being.
Okay, at the same time.
At the same time. So this crocodile, they let
Sounds
go.
painful.
And so this crocodile will be the guardian.
Yeah.
And I've had clients who also, indulge in these rituals where they need to give them offerings.
Yeah.
Like a black chicken and so on. So I said, how did you do that? This happened in Malaysia in the rivers of Malacca, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So they will invoke chants, mantras and all that. And then they will see a white crocodile coming near. But it's not the crocodile that scares them. It's the person standing on top of the crocodile. But how they appear? They appear in Islamic clothing. Right? But for us, we know this is jinn. So they will give all the offerings to that person. So there will be something in return. What's in return? They will give you powers and so on, protection.
Okay.
What else? Other ancestral jinn. That's the two most common.
From what I know is for businesses, for business owners. This one in general. I'm not talking about anyone. No names mentioned. In general, in general sense, people will try to team a certain kind of jinn that is for the purpose of getting more customers,
Financial
clients,
gains,
financial gains.
Yeah.
So this is not for the fact they are going to offend someone, but just for their benefits.
Yeah.
And just do remember that whoever is doing this, it's two-way thing. Means if they were to give you something in
They expect
return,
something
you
in
must.
return.
They are expecting something from you.
Yeah, it's like a classic deal with the devil kind of.
Yeah. So once you pledge allegiance, you have a pact, especially blood pact. This is the worst. Please do not do that, please. And the worst is they do not want like goat's head, like chicken blood. They do not want that. In return, sometimes they might want your children, your offsprings,
Oh my gosh, okay.
to be the vessel. And of course, we can't do that, right?
Yeah.
We won't be sacrificing our children for the jinn, for what? But these are the things that are happening. And most of them, without proper knowledge and understanding, they have indulged in this just because of financial gains. At the end of the day, it's backbiting them. These things, they are coming back to them.
Okay, so let's say you're someone who has made one of these pacts, right? And then you have to give up your child or something like that. Is there anything that you guys can do to solve this situation, or are they stuck in it already?
First and foremost, of course, we will tell them never succumb to their demands or needs. or their wants. Do not. Because when we understand in our teachings, do not give in to them. Even though you have done those things, first you must repent. That is the prerequisite, repent. 2, you must have protection, recitations. 3rd, due diligence, do your very best just to check on your family members. Are there any odd things happening in the house? And if let's say you're talking about ancestral jinn, they tend to physicalize themselves more. For instance, Ustaz Ruk, he saw like the TV control just moves like that, those kind of things.
Okay.
Chair sliding by itself during Ruqyah, that's common.
Door slammed without no wind. There's aircon.
Yeah.
So it's slammed by itself. So those things are getting more violent at times. So just keep on the lookout so that those things never happen. If let's say things are getting out of hand, you might want to consider calling someone that is knowledgeable in this sense. We're not talking about us. It can be anyone that is doing the right thing. And this is basically what I'm sharing that is happening in our community, like Malay Muslim. Yeah. So just be very careful. Yeah.
Let me let you hear something. This is one true
Yeah.
Ruqyah session of a possession. I wouldn't be showing visuals, just audio.
But warning,
That's the person that you're
being possessed.
And that's you guys chanting, reciting.
So these are the things that we tend to hear daily.
Really.
So if you were to ask us at the point of time, are we scared during those earlier days? Definitely.
We do. Yeah.
Because we don't hear this every day.
Yeah.
But once we hear this every day, it's like we are just so used to it. It's not that we are not scared, but we are more prepared. We understand whatever that has happened. And we believe that the greatest power, which is the Almighty, is here to protect us. So, yeah.
How did you guys get into this line of work in the first place?
This is something that is being taught in our religion, Ruqyah.
Yeah.
Right? We, in our religion, we believe that we must believe in the existence of the unseen. We must believe in the existence of jinn. Even in the days of our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, there are disturbances that happen. There are people who are afflicted with spiritual disturbances. And the Prophet teach certain verses for you to practice. So, because this is part of our belief system, so I believe this is something that you need to know. But only for us that we studied with gurus, we read books of Ruqyah, and we even do read books of black magic, so we know how to differentiate between magic and what's not. Yeah. So I've been doing this for 5 years. Clientele coming to 5,000 clients. Ustaz Tambu, numbers reaching there too. So if you
Did you learn from Ustaz Tam? Did you learn from Ustaz?
He's one of my mentor.
Okay.
So he started first. Mine is I think about 4 years.
I'm your mentor.
Yeah. He's a good friend.
You're just finding out now for the first time.
He's a good friend. He's a good teacher. For my experience, personally, I had family members, friends that are being inflicted in this kind of pain, agony due to black magic or maybe disturbances. So it took me quite a while to pick this up. At first, I was like, no. Because in our belief system, if we were to do this professionally, we need to ask permission from our family members because of the setbacks. If let's say these beings, they have vengeance. If you come for their clan, they will come. It's like humans, right?
Yeah.
We have brothers and sisters. If you attack us, of course the family will protect. Same goes for them. So if we were to do this, we ought to be getting threats, disturbances, weird ones, odd ones. So I did ask permission from my family members for at least 2-3 years. Then they say, if you're doing this for the community, please do so, but do not do this for money.
And like going back to the Joe's question just now, are there periods of time where people are more vulnerable, like Halloween or 7 months? This is like the different versions
it's
of
a very sensitive question. Yeah.
If I may,
Go ahead. I wouldn't want to answer.
I'll be answering tactfully. In our belief system, for Muslims, we believe that during the time for our Maghrib prayers, means it's like dawn. Is it? Not dawn, but
From dawn till dusk.
dusk. means about 7 plus. Those are the times whereby the devils are everywhere.
Roaming freely.
Roaming freely. The understanding that has been taught to us by our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we understand that at this specific timing, the devils are everywhere. So we just need to be very careful, extra careful. Do not do things out of the ordinary at those timing.
What's something out of the ordinary? Like what's something that you shouldn't do at that time?
In our belief system, try to you try to rest at the point of time.
Indoors lah.
Indoors most of the time. Pray, of course. Not to play sports at that specific timing. Afterwards is fine, but during that specific timing, just be safe, stay safe. Because if you were to ask the both of us, our track records, our analytics shows that those who do some activities at that timing
are prone to disturbances.
Yes, most of the time. So
the witching hour.
so we believe daily, but by God's grace, if let's say you are protected, means you are protected. You know.
And how can one get protected? Actually, going back to Joe's question as well.
For the people that we are preaching, we tell them to read Quranic verses, or some, and be mindful of our actions outside. Not just by reciting, but do not just kick trees, do not kick certain things. Do not pluck out certain things. Do not hurt animals for no reasons. If you go to hiking, do not take. If let's say you see gemstones, don't ever pick it up. Don't try to be that one smart Alex guy. I got this. No, don't.
Don't even pee around. I'm sorry to say this. I got one client. You know what happened was his toe is how would I say bigger than a normal size.
His
swollen.
Which toe?
His right toe lah. He's swollen. Is vibrating oddly.
Whoa.
So he went to the doctor, and the doctor said nothing's wrong with your toe. So he sought our help. So I came and said, while reciting certain Quranic verses, while reciting, the toes vibrate. This can be signs of the existence of jinn. When I stop reciting, it doesn't vibrate. When I keep reciting, it vibrates. Okay. Until the vibration stops, until when I see there's no any spasmic activities happening on his body, physical body. After that, I asked him, what do you work as? I work as a security guard. Okay, I'm a person who does not know things. I don't predict things. I'm just asking this. I'm trying to do something. Did you by any chance kick anything during your work time? He gave a 5 minutes thought and said, Ya lah. Not only that, Ustad, what did you do? I pee around the place.
He pees around the place.
Because he can't find a clean toilet. It's an abandoned building. He needs to guard the abandoned building.
It's like no choice, huh?
Perhaps you have peed upon an unseen jinn. That is why that disturbances happen.
He's coming back for revenge.
Possible. Possible.
So I said, repent to God. Stop doing all this. Okay, read Quranic verses. Uphold your prayers. So after that, nothing happens. All the symptoms stop.
Yeah.
And if I may add just one, if you may share with the Mothership listeners, the utmost important, the thing that we are propagating, the first things first, if anything were to happen, do not just engage in, just call spiritual healers, book an appointment with us. Do not do that. Please check medically. If let's say medically you're cleared, doctors cannot diagnose you with anything after scans, after much tests being done, after checking everything A to Z. Once everything is cleared medically, you may wish to come to us. That's it. So we are not telling people, hey, come. Sometimes it's just medical. You need medical attention, medical help. Seek specialists. Not every screams are considered someone is being possessed.
There are even possession that is not even jinn possession. It's hysterical moments.
True.
That person is in hysteria. So how do we differentiate that? I think it is due to experiences and guidance from our mentors and our gurus. From there, we can differentiate. If this person is having any emotional disturbances, behavioral disturbances, whereby when a person has pent up emotions and then suddenly he lets it out, he screams here and there, and he felt okay. So do we define that as jinn possession? No, a
So,
jinn possession is eerie, I tell you.
That helper that you were talking about earlier, the one with the knife, she ended up going to IMH.
I don't know what happens next, but I was told by if I'm not mistaken, the police officers, that will be one of the channel that they are going to put her through.
Okay. But did you make the assessment that she was?
Oh, she was not having jinn disturbance.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
She was having a mental issues.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
But-
not the
but
right person to
diagnose,
diagnose a mental thing,
Yeah.
but I can see signs.
Yeah.
As taught by our mentors.
Yeah.
At the very least, you knew that it wasn't a jinn issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are very very close. We are working very closely with doctors, medical doctors, and at the same time clinical psychologists. So these are the people that we ask their expert opinion. So we do not make assumptions based on our own understanding. So this is whereby we work closely, work hand in hand in order to help our community, understanding the medical part and the spiritual part together. So when we take in both factors in, I believe that the diagnosis will
The recovery will be better.
The recovery will be very good. It will be very accurate.
Yeah, very holistic.
Yeah,
I like
true.
it. I like
That's the
it.
word, holistic.
I just wanted to ask, how does a call go? So if someone is troubled, how do they come to you? Like, how do you assess the situation and then conclude that, okay, I need to meet this person? Yeah.
Usually we'll receive late night calls like 12 a.m. onwards. So during our earlier days, those are quite common. So we tend to attend. We try to rush there as much as possible by the speed limit. With that being said, after years of doing, I think in the long run it is quite impossible for us to work at those hours. It's going to be very tiring and taxing. So we have a system whereby it's a booking system online and no obligation. We do not hard sell our services. If let's say they require our professional help, they can book a certain date and time slot and we'll be attending to them. But those cases usually they have been suffering those conditions for quite some time. Emergency calls are the thing that is going to be very hard. If let's say they were to call us, now we don't do that anymore.
Oh, okay.
But we have friends that can do ad hoc calls. If let's say there are emergencies, we'll pass their numbers. You can call or contact this person. So these guys are mobile.
Yeah.
At any point of time, if let's say they do not have any other case, they can attend to you island-wide.
You guys are strictly by appointment only.
Yes, because due to influx of requests, it's almost impossible.
Yeah. You need some work-life balance as well.
True.
Yeah.
You can see my eye bag. So I can only take about 3 to 4 appointments a day. One appointment can be as short as 45 to 1 hour. The longest is 2 to 3 hours of
Session.
session.
What's the first thing you do when you come into the house? Like, what do you end up?
Of course, we greet them. We are not like coming with
busting and stuff in the Quran.
yeah, we talk.
Summon the jinn. Oh, jinn, expelliarmus.
Yeah, we do not shout like that, like in movies. Like we talk to them. We ask them what are the issues. We ask for any patterns that has happened, and respectfully we tell them what we are going to do. The process, the SOPs, then we will start to recite slowly and carefully. And every verses gives different effects. So we have many different verses in Ruqyah. So we will ask their condition first, then we will decide what to read. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Most of the time, is it themselves who call or like their family members who call?
Usually it's themselves.
Themselves and some family members.
Some family members.
But we do not do surprise Ruqyah. Like some family members, they will just book
We need their consent.
consent. Yeah.
Because why? There are some who, wanting us to agree with them. I gave an example. This person, found out that his partner is cheating on her.
Okay.
Right? So, I think this is due to black magic. But in most cases, it's not even about black magic. It's about it's your own choice.
Yeah.
It's your
cheating,
own mistakes, right?
Yeah.
So they call me, to perform Ruqyah on her husband without knowing. What happens next? They fought about themselves. They argue about themselves. They scream to each other.
Yeah.
And what am I supposed to do? Stand there?
You just read the Quran while they
I can't be doing that.
read the verses while they are
Yeah.
screaming.
It's awkward. The situation is going to be super awkward.
So we put a clause that Ruqyah needs permission and consent. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if let's say they were to book us, there's this one box whereby they can put any description explaining beforehand. So at least we
alerted lah.
are alerted that what's your condition, so we know how to craft our words, and our strategies in helping them. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, very, very interesting. I had the image of you, like the family has called you guys, and then they haven't told the person yet. Then they walk into a room, and then you turn around in the chair, then you start reciting the Quran immediately. No.
And then there's one say, "What's this? Are you trying to say that I am bringing magic here?" And then the wife will say, "No, we just recite Quran. No, we recite Quran." And I was like, what am I supposed to do? What am I doing here now?
Right? Especially those cases like scandal, cheating. So sometimes we will tell our clients, please, if you want to book us proper with proofs and everything, not just by like you're scapegoating the jinn for your own
that's a good
personal
statement.
issue.
Yeah.
Scapegoating the jinn.
I'm not sure whether that's a word.
Example.
Yeah.
I'm blaming my mistake on the jinn for me cheating on my own wife.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
That doesn't make sense at all. Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Come on,
It's a fair chance. I would.
Yes. Jinns are are not guilty.
Yeah, they are a creation of gods too. Yeah, true.
Okay, we have one other question to pose to you guys. Are you guys ready for that?
Sure.
Okay, I'll be taking away.
So this person is called Fake Ghosts Meet Real Ghosts, and they said, I work for a big Halloween event in Singapore that happens every year. And every year there are possessions of actors as well as crew, despite management doing prayers before the start of every shift. Sometimes we go to the altar at the staff area to pray to, but every year they still come and disturb us. One of the years, something followed me home. What can we do to avoid getting haunted by them? And he complained that we're just working after all. So do you have any advice for this person?
The advice I can give is if it's in the Islamic perspective. Again, the answer.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if that person is a Muslim, then the advice that I will give would be, in fact, the main advice I would say, you shouldn't be indulging in this kind of activities. Right? You are representing a ghost to scare people, and you ended getting scared.
Yeah.
That's the irony, right? It's so ironic. So, but if this is part of the work, just to do it professionally, my advice would be, before doing anything, again, not I'm saying I'm agreeing to this.
I'm not encouraging. But
you need to recite verses of the Quran, as simple as Surah Al-Fatiha, the first chapter of the Quran. It is also known as Surah Ruqyah, the chapter of Ruqyah. It has 7 verses. Okay. And then you see, how can I generalize an event to be protected, whereas a disturbance is unique from one person to another?
I see.
Example, all of us are acting in the same Halloween event, right? Why is he not being disturbed? Why are you being disturbed? Again, it's unique. What I mean unique is, when you start to have disturbances, you are the chosen one by the jinn. So the jinn will somehow, aiming you and disturbing you. Or perhaps it can be the reason of ancestral jinn. It can also be the reason of someone sending black magic to you. Right?
Maybe
So
it's
it's unique.
also,
It's very hard to define.
possible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I hope that's the general answer I can give to that specific question.
Yeah.
Maybe
How about yourself?
in a different light. If let's say some paranormal activities groups like enthusiasts, they will do things right, recording. I understand this is a trend, and I believe that
Entertainment,
it gives them the subscribers, like so on and so forth. It'll be viral. With due respect, I'm not touching about that. But if let's say you were the intention is to look for ghosts, am I right?
If you go out to
Right?
And you will do rituals to invite them, right?
So when they come over to disturb you, don't blame them because you're asking for it. So this is a simple logic. I believe everyone, all the listeners of Mothership, you need to understand this. If you were to be asking for them to come out, so once they are out, so what do you expect? That kind of thing. So for me, we are respecting other human beings. Am I right? harmonious living seem. For the unseen, we respect them. I believe some paranormal activities, they will curse, they will kick the altar, they will do that. I say, hey, you
that's
cannot
wrong,
be doing that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be respecting other people's religion. So when they do those kind of activities, that's when the real thing will come. And once they come for you, they will come hard. They say you go hard or you go home. Just kidding.
Yeah.
We have to confess we've both gone on like ghost hunting
For work.
For work.
Well, we
Okay.
follow them to see what they.
For
what
work.
they-
Professional.
Did you are you involved in any rituals invoking?
We just watched.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
then
they
you're
did this thing
safe.
Called, like Uji Nali or something.
Uji nyali.
Yeah. So I watched the guy do it, and then like it was pretty intense. But yeah, I mean that's like he was like really asking to be possessed. I think. Right? Like,
Okay,
that was
understood.
like the purpose of what he was doing. From what I understand.
And then you call us. Example. You are asking for a possession, and then if things go out of hand, then you call us.
Like
But
for backups.
in the beginning, in the beginning, you are playing with fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ought to get burnt, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
do horror movies count as like going to watch horror movies? Do they count as playing with fire as well?
No lah.
Come on, give us the real truth about horror
in
movies.
your opinion
In my own personal opinion, I'm not imposing any ideas to anyone. If you're the type that you're super scared of certain things, do not watch because it's not gonna be beneficial for you.
Okay.
After this, you want to go to the toilet and then you end up being scared. But you need to go to the toilet.
Paranoid.
We need to sleep at night. Am I right?
Yeah.
We need to sleep, but because you watch ghost stories, you cannot sleep over the night. Now, tomorrow you need to go to work. You won't be functional. You won't be efficient. End up you'll be inefficient because you watch ghost stories.
Yeah.
Very,
I mean-
very practical
Yeah.
practical
But for my personal answer, I mean, it's just a form of art.
Okay.
It's an
Entertainment.
art where the depictions of the unseen, ghosts, spirits, demons, angels, and all that being designed into a visuals. And then when you watch it, for me, it's just I'll be honest, I like to watch Nuke's Top 5 and Slap Ham. It's a YouTube channel where they showcase a lot of different videos that is being compiled, and then they review example videos of from a CCTV, and then suddenly there's a imagery going on and all that.
Yeah.
I like to watch because for me it was so what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a form of test for yourself, right? And we believe that these things exist. So is that even real? Or if the video is not real, if it's fake?
Yeah.
It can be a lot of explanation. For me, just testing, I just take it with a pinch of salt, and I laugh at it lah.
And
Just in the form of entertainment.
We are not that uptight,
Yeah.
but at the same time we are very careful. I will tell my clients, my patients, like, hey, if you have this problem, that you're the type that you will always see things, you have conditions, please do not watch. Watch something else. Watch cat videos, something cute, something flowery, right?
Yeah.
Some other dramas, movies that is sci-fi or something better lah. Apart from ghost stories.
There are 3 major instances how a jinn can possess you. In a state whereby you are too fearful, you are too angry, and you are too, what's that other one?
Lustful. Like,
Okay.
is that the word? Nah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Haunted by the hantu tek tek.
You should mute that.
That's if you're lustful, then that's
yeah.
Wow.
So I forgot.
I researched.
In a state of anger, in a state of fear, in a state of correct lah.
That's a good one.
Shout out to Faka Faz. He's the one who taught me about the hantu tek tek. Yeah, he said that he wanted to be haunted by.
I got no comments on that.
Okay, I think that is all we have time for. Do you have any other questions, Alfie?
just one
Yeah,
more.
go on.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Have you both seen any
Hantu tek
Yeah.
tek. No, go on.
Are you going to mute this? That's wrong, man.
Mothership is
I don't
open.
think it's gonna be
Yeah,
weird. Have you guys seen anything that like really not like the gene itself, for example?
You?
Like either
You start first.
Okay, so there's this once. It happened early this year. So I came back from an appointment with my family. Apparently, they followed me, not in the house. They waited at the car.
The ghost, not your family, right?
No, my family's in the car.
Okay.
So I was staying at the east side.
Yeah.
So I was going up the car park.
Yeah.
So apparently I was a bit sleepy, and then my daughter mentioned that, hey, abati means my father. Father, I saw a head. So I was like, huh? So I turned to the left and I look. I saw like it's just a head.
Okay.
I was shocked lah.
It's like a penanggal, is it?
Penanggal. The term they use in Malay, penanggal, in Indonesia is what?
Kuyang.
Kuyang. Headless. You know, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
The ghost with a head only without
Only.
body. Yeah.
So when I look at it, I was shocked. But in my understanding, I know that those are not the real form. Second is a test from God. Third, I need to be calmed. What I told my wife was at the back of the car. We were riding on an MPV. So I say, baca, read now. Then my wife say, why? I say, just read. She understands. So these are the odd times that I see, but we don't see it every day. And we believe that we cannot see up until God allows us to see, because due to challenges or what we call tests as ujian. Is it the word ujian? Like,
it's an obstacle that you need
like
to go through.
God just wants to test you lah, your bravery, your faith.
Bravery,
So we always preach faith to others. So when we are tested, that's when we really practice whatever that we talk about.
Yeah, practice what you preach.
Yeah, so it was just a spur of the moment. I saw, I turned, I look back in, there's none. So I read the verses. I ask my daughters, are you guys okay? They say, I'm fine. So apparently she did not see anything. She just spouted. So when I turned, I saw the real thing.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so there are many other occurrences, but these are one of the recent ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see it every day. We don't scan to see ghosts. No, we don't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That is not our
things
ability.
happen. Things happen. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, up to date for my Ruqyah sessions, I've never seen anything.
Okay.
But if you're asking me, do I have disturbances back then when I was in my teenage years? I think late 19s, early 20s. So what happened was, there's this chalet, which I cannot mention where, in the east side of Singapore.
That's good. Okay. Okay.
So, in Kisah Ruqyah SG we mentioned, right?
Yeah, podcast we mentioned.
I don't know for this
Just mention
platform.
What
East side lah, east side.
East side.
Yeah.
So what happened was, during that time, back then when I was in my teenage years, we like to go explore, go through places that is spooky and stuff.
Content.
And I'm known to be someone who's very vocal. Like, really, is that ghost? I don't believe all this, man.
Yeah.
The loud one, the irritating one.
So gets killed first. In horror movies.
Yeah, if you watch horror movies.
That one guy, That one guy.
So apparently, it happened that at that night. Why am I in this bungalow? I think it's because the next day we're going to have a wedding ceremony near the park there. I accidentally mentioned park. Yeah. So I remembered the bungalow number. So to shorten the story, I sleep at that night together with my another friend. He was the witness there. And lo and behold, at the side of the clock at 3 a.m., suddenly I woke up and I saw the clock at 3 a.m. Suddenly everything is blackout.
Whoa.
There's a blackout. There's a power shortage. Boom.
Pitch black.
So no electricity is available, right?
Yeah.
So it's pitch black and dark and hot. I was so sweaty. So what I did, me and my friend, we go out of the bungalow, that is chalet. What I saw in front of me, in a few meters away, was a person who's very tall. But, it's not hopping, it's not moving, it's circling.
Okay.
Imagine in that pitch black moment, that's the only thing that you can see. A greyish white silhouette. And it's moving around.
Okay.
My friend said, Pontianak. Being the me back then, I walked straight and close to the silhouette and what's this? Do you know what I saw? It's a pocong.
Oh my gosh.
I observed carefully. You know what's a pocong, right? It's a corpse lah. In shrouded white cloth. Hey, it's a pocong. And I see that the legs are not touching the ground. And it's like hovering around. I quickly, I start to, shiver. Right, being so scared, goosebumps around my body. I take out my phone, shaking. I call my friends, guys. I don't know why they weren't there. Oh, they were at the wedding ceremony venue. They are doing something for the next day. Some preparations, I believe.
Yeah.
Guys, go home now. Go back to the bungalow. I see ghosts. Oh, really? that voice say, "Hey guys, finally Rook saw ghost." So they came and said, serve you right in your face, bro. You've been wanting to see things, right? And I said, yeah, but not in the moment where I'm not prepared.
Yeah.
And then the next few days I got fever.
Feverish.
And that's normal if you have this kind of sightings. It will affect your physical body lah.
So what happened to the pocong? It just disappeared.
Oh yeah, it's hovering, and then suddenly there's a bungalow in front of me. It just seep through whoop, and disappear.
Oh.
And then suddenly the electricity turns on again.
Whoa. Okay.
I like that moment is awaiting me at that point of time.
So your friend also saw.
Yeah, he saw.
The two of you.
Yeah. And after that, if I want to go into the toilet, I said, "Oi!" Let's say example, my friend is Mamat, right? Example, Mat, you better stay close to the door. I scared. Why you want to be scared? You always go explore. You are a brave person, what? I see that one, I surrender. So that's one experience I had back in my teenage years, I believe. Yeah.
Wow, yeah. Oh my gosh, that is creepy. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you guys sharing candidly and more about the work that you guys do. How can people find out more about what you guys do if they're interested?
Usually we have this one podcast, but everything is in Malay lah.
Okay.
Kisah Ruqyah SG. So we share our values, the knowledge, good stories, not with the purpose of to scare them off, but to give them some preparations if that were to happen to them, what they can do,
Okay.
and what they cannot do.
Yeah.
So it's a
mix of ghost storytelling due to experiences of those who listen that happened in their life.
Yeah.
All right. And then it's a more of a sharing session of what scholars of Ruqyah explains about Ruqyah. So it's not just basically hearing stories, you scare yourself and then that's it.
Educational purpose.
True.
I believe it's like that. It's a little bit educational. Yeah, so we have Instagram, Kisah Ruqyah SG. We have TikTok, Kisah Ruqyah SG as well. But again, our mode of language mostly is in Malay.
Yeah. And then you guys do a live on
YouTube every Sunday 9 p.m.
Okay, awesome. If you guys are interested and if you speak Malay, though they might do an English episode
we do.
sometime.
I think
Definitely.
Yeah, okay.
After this podcast, we will consider it.
You guys can tune in there. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's an honor. It's an honor. Thank you, Drew and Alfie.
Help Desk is powered by Audio-Technica.